I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
Meanwhile,
Big mama, big mama, that big mama.
She would take pictures of herself in a bikini and upload them to her lonely male followers on social media. Then Angel Reese would turn around and complain about being over-sexualized. Lonely men keep telling me to take more clothes off. It's so unfair. This week, Angel Reese, I guess, decided to take a step further.
Angel Reese was complaining like a victim about being sexualized in the media, but guess what happened? She posted thirst traps on social media like clockwork as soon as the United Center lost by 27 points. This is the same player who complained about the attention she receives off the court but can't seem to focus on making simple layups when it matters most. The hypocrisy is astounding, and the basketball gods served up some instant karma in front of a sold-out crowd. If you can't wait for Reese's next gaffe, leave a comment below. No one likes you, therefore let's go. You literally have a bra on, booty shorts on, and your booty cheek hanging out the bottom of it. I wonder why I don't really get to voice my opinions because I just try to ignore things and act strong. I've been through a lot, seen a lot, been attacked numerous times, been sexualized, threatened death, and been through a lot, and I've always stood strong. I also try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and not support me. The Chicago Bulls' home venue, the United Center, was crowded with more than 19,000 spectators for the first ever WNBA game. What's even more amazing is that without their three largest components, the Indiana Fever completely destroyed the sky when they entered Chicago's home. No Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, or head coach Stephanie White, just a bunch of hungry players eager to show that they didn't need their stars to humiliate Angel Reese on her home court. I haven't seen a single instance of Angel Reese acting as a leader outside of grabbing her missed layups. Tell me what she does and what she contributes. I know I'm being critical, but she thinks of herself as a star, and if you're going to call yourself that, I expect you to perform like a star, especially during pivotal moments. Let's face it, everyone expected the Sky to exploit the Fever's missing components, but Caitlin Clark was hurt. Angel Reese was the only player on the court yesterday night, and for 27 minutes, she vanished totally. Kelsey Mitchell was up to something else. There is a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing destruction, but Mitchell wasn't just making shots, she was making statement shots that had the United Center crowd going silent. You could feel the energy shift as Chicago fans realized their team was being picked apart by Indiana's role players. She scored 17 points on 5 of 11 shooting and took over the game when it mattered most. Cremation with annihilation. Whatever cooking method you choose, roasted, sautéed, whatever, the Indiana Fever completely destroyed the Chicago skyline. Lexi Hull arrived prepared to work, making shots from outside the arc with a rhythm that made coaches happy. In the second quarter, she even exceeded 500 career points, which is another significant accomplishment in what is turning out to be a breakout season. In the meantime, Aaliyah Boston handled the pain like she owned it, making Angel Reese appear totally lost on both ends of the floor as Boston tried to be a safety valve. 8 to shoot. Boston this time working against Reese pivots puts it up and one opportunity. Hull's shooting efficiency was exactly what the Fever needed to stretch Chicago's defense and create easy opportunities for her teammates. Speaking of Reese, it was agonizing to watch her score just 4 points on 2 of 7 shots, or a ruthless 28.6% from the field. These weren't contested shots or difficult looks. Aaliyah Boston was clearing out all the traffic. We're discussing the types of layups that high school athletes perform while they sleep. Reese had a -20 for the game, which meant that Sky lost by 20 points each time she on the court. Her teammates could only watch as she clanked shot after shot as the Fever subsided. Angel. When life tosses Reese lemons, she turns them into bricks. Let's see what happens in part 38. I must admit that this is my favorite summer sitcom, Pan Butter Pecan. For the record, she missed the rim by 3 feet, indicating that she is right-handed. Here's a statistic: she has only completed 21 hoops and been blocked 20 times. What? Ari McDonald, who recently signed a hardship contract, came in and scored 12 points with 4 steals after Natasha Howard added 13 solid points. In her first game with the Fever, McDonald appeared more at ease than Reese did in her own building. This level of preparation and depth distinguishes championship organizations from teams that depend on social media drama to remain relevant, but both teams are dealing with some difficulty, with some players missing or not playing at their best. McDonald's had a massive triple in the corner, and a patient in the corner flips it up onto the Boston side. McDonald another three. I'm loving it. The crowd started heading for the exits before the fourth quarter even ended. Think about that for a second. Chicago fans paid good money to see their team play in the biggest arena in the city, and they couldn't stomach watching the final minutes because the beating was so thorough. Some fans were even asking Caitlin Clark for autographs during warm-ups, which tells you everything about where the real star power was sitting that night. This wasn't just a loss for the Sky, it was a complete breakdown of everything they thought they knew about basketball. The Fever's role players outworked, outshot and outplayed Chicago's supposed stars without breaking a sweat. When the final buzzer sounded on that 27-point massacre, it sent a clear message about which franchise has its priorities straight and which one is still figuring out the difference between basketball and Instagram content. But here's what makes this beating even more embarrassing for Angel Reese and the Sky. People in the crowd arrived early and said, "Hey Caitlin, could you sign my jersey? Hey Aaliyah, could you sign my shirt? Hey Sophie, could you sign my picture?" This wasn't even their worst performance versus Indiana this season. The Chicago Sky should have been celebrating after their 27-point defeat at the United Center because they actually improved from their first meeting with the Fever this season back on May 17 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, where the Sky were completely destroyed by 35 points in a 93-58 massacre that made the recent loss look like a competitive game. Angel Reese gets up, Aaliyah Boston shoves it, and it gives it a little stiffy. There were people in the crowd asking for autographs who weren't even born yet, but the last time the Chicago Sky scored this small amount of points, there were people in the crowd who hadn't even considered their parents at the time. Oh my goodness, this was a hilarious look. Reese was upset. I thought that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool, but I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, look at that, look at her, I mean she was getting after it, family. Angel Reese was pissed, and she was still going after a little bit. Let's go back to that May afternoon when she thought she could get physical with Caitlin Clark and intimidate the rookie into backing down. The tension was building throughout the game as Reese tried to establish her presence through hard fouls and aggressive play. She was talking, pushing, and doing everything except making shots when her team needed them. Oh my god, the amusing part is that Caitlin Clark was sniffing as she left. Wait a minute, I'll try to capture a decent perspective. Indeed, see Caitlin Clark's expression right here as you watch this, laugh. This is where things get interesting. Reese was so focused on playing enforcer and apparently listening to crowd noises that might or might not have existed that she completely forgot about the part where you're supposed to play basketball. Her shooting performance that night was a painful 2 of 7 from the field for just 12 points, and she pulled down 17 rebounds, which seems impressive until you realize that the majority of those came from her own missed shots and her teammates' struggles to convert easy opportunities. The Fever responded to Reese's physical play by doing what championship teams do: they let their basketball do the talking. Every time Reese attempted to turn the game into a drama and intimidate the game, Indiana responded with precise ball movement, effective shooting, and the kind of professional poise that distinguishes contestants from pretenders. This should have been a huge wake-up call for Chicago because the Fever didn't fall for Reese's antics. Instead, they kept scoring and pulling away until the game became unwatchable for Sky fans. When you lose by 35 points, it's not just a bad shooting night or unlucky bounces, it's a fundamental breakdown of everything you're supposed to do as a basketball team. The Sky offensive execution was non-existent, their defensive rotations looked confused, and their star player was more interested in starting arguments than coming up with ideas for offense. You would think that after losing by 35 points in front of a national audience, Angel Reese would have to return to the gym and focus on her core skills. Instead of creating drama, she would spend the summer honing her shooting technique, watching movies, and figuring out how to help the team win basketball. A professional athlete should use such humiliation as inspiration to disprove the skeptics, but did Reese get any insight from it? May defeat. The data indicates that rather than honing her layup technique, she spent more time organizing her next social media post. The Sky lost by 27 points instead of 35, which is technically an improvement, but the figures don't lie about this trend. It still shows that they were completely unable to compete with a Fever squad that wasn't even playing at its best. While the Fever were establishing synergy and creating the kind of depth that wins titles, they lost 2 games to Indiana in a row, with the same man at the heart of both catastrophes. The timing of what transpired next is absolutely astounding. Angel Reese went on record discussing how she's been sexually assaulted, attacked numerous times, threatened with death, and how unfair the entire situation is for her. She portrayed herself as a victim who just wants to be respected for her basketball skills and not judged for anything else. You could hear the frustration in her voice as she explained how she tries to ignore and I just try to stand strong through all the criticism and scrutiny that comes her way. Big mama, that big mama for real big. It's so proportioned though, like I know that's what I'm saying, and it doesn't even look like that because I'm tall. Music. However, less than a week after giving that tearful interview about being wrongfully sexualized, the narrative takes a crazy turn. The internet went completely crazy when Angel Reese shared a video of herself twerking with rapper Sexy Red that had nothing to do with basketball. Fans took screenshots of her complaints and placed them next to the offensive content she was posting, and it was impossible to ignore the hypocrisy. This is tacky, in my opinion. Nothing about this is adorable, really. What does it have to do with basketball?